Hey tubes, working on a little half tag today, and I was looking at the shaft here. I was trying to come up with an idea for the timer, you know, to make the ignition time and stuff like that. And I was going to use a micro switch, and I went to see if I had one. I checked the drawer, and I do. I have a micro switch here, and it will. I got two holes here that they're all buggered up. Looks like somebody had stripped the threads in them or something, or snapped off some bolts. So I'll see if I can get them threads back, because I could actually come off of that thing here and bring my micro switch underneath here. But I'm still gonna have to make a lobe. But you know, a lot of times you're thinking more working on than work on these. You know, you're doing more thinking. And I've been figuring out how I'm trying to put this gas check valve in and stuff like that, and what I'm going to use. And the funny thing is when I was looking for this piece here, this micro switch, oh, I dropped it. I came across this old check valve. Looks like out of a W or a WI or something, and it looks like it'll work perfect. It fits in a hole, and I think I just might have to tap some threads into there. I think it's a little too long. Gotta check it out. As a matter of fact, let me get this over here. I'm hiding my piston in there. But let me see. I don't know if you can see it in here. Drag it around to the light here. There we go. Yeah, that's just about touching the bottom. So once you screw it in, it'll probably be touching. So I might have to cut that maybe about 1/4 of an inch, but it looks like it's going to work out perfect. Just what I needed. Got a little wafer in the bottom of this, and it keeps fuel from going back. And them threads there, they look like common. Sorry about that. Look like maybe a 5/8 by a 5/8 18 maybe. I don't know if I have a tap that big. I'll have to check it. Let me go check. Alright, I checked it with the thread gauge, and it's a 5/8 18, and I do have a tap. It looks like it was never used. And I don't even think I'm going to have to drill a hole out, because it looks like it'll fit right in there and tap and give us some good thread. So it's funny how things work out, you know, and that looks like it's going to work out great for me. You know, a lot of times when you build this stuff, you're fighting it, you know, every move you make, you're fighting it and trying to figure stuff out, but stuff seems to be falling into place. There's something else that seems to be falling in place for me here. Let me put this back together. Here's something else I was trying to figure out and throwing ideas around in my head. Here's the flywheel. The flywheel goes on this side, and that's where I'm going to put my timer. But then this wheel, this side over here, I always had intentions of putting some kind of starter, you know, a rope starter on that side, you know. And I had this thing here. I don't know where I probably picked it up at a flea market or somewhere like that, but it's almost the size of the flywheel, you know. And I could actually put it on that flywheel, but then it's going to distract from the beauty of it, you know, because that's a pretty nice looking flywheel. You know, you got the holes and everything. Plus, it's kind of big and gaudy, you know. So then I was talking to Mike, and I says, maybe I'll put an old Briggs cup starter on there. And he said, he goes, do you have any? I says, I should have one. If not, we'll get one somewhere. I checked the stock here. It turns out I got 6 of them. So that's going to work out good. Let me get one of these here. What I'll do is I'll actually cut it down. I'll take about 1 inch out of it and shorten it, and it'll fit on that stub pretty nice. But another thing that worked out for me, and I was happy about it. You know, I always tell these guys, when you're doing a project, don't throw anything out till the project's over. And here, this goes on here. That was that little nub that we didn't need. You know, and I had Racer cut it off. And it turns out I might be able to use that, because when I cut this starter cup down, I could actually weld it to the inside, and there's already a hole here in the crank. I don't know if you can see it. I could actually use that, weld that in there, and put the whole thing on, and then just pin it. Use that pin to hold the cup on. So it's funny how things are working out. Like I say, usually these things are fighting you, you know, tooth and nail. But everything seems to be going good. Now my main concern is just trying to find a carburetor. Everything else is going together pretty well. All right, let me work on these threads here, and then I'll probably work on a timer, and I'll show you what I plan on do with that. Here's something interesting I just came across on my hoard. It's an aluminum pulley, but it has fan blades on it and stuff. This would have made a nice flywheel. You know, it's light, and I probably would have filled this this groove in with epoxy. That would have made it, give it a little more weight, but that would have made a real nice flywheel. I wouldn't have had to worry about cooling. Right now, my plan is to bring up a little, put a little tiny fan on the side here, like the old Briggs Model Ps. Yeah, Google that if you get a chance. Briggs Model P. That was like one of the first engines they made, and it would have had like a rubber band coming up from the end around the pulley, and had a little fan blowing on there. But I thought that was interesting. It's almost perfectly made for that. Matter of fact, the shaft is 7/8, and that looks like 5/8. So that just would have had to bore that out a little bit. Maybe if we have to make another one of these, we'll keep that in mind. Interesting, huh? Alright, I got it started here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed and film at the same time. It's cutting pretty easy, because I say it's casting. Alright. This is where a tripod would come in handy, huh? I'm probably getting you guys dizzy. Alright, let me finish tapping this, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, they came out pretty good. I don't know how deep they are. They're not that deep. It seemed pretty, they cut pretty easy, but it'll do the job we need. I'm trying to thread in this left-handed. There you go. That's that for talent. Alright, a check valve. Oh wait, I got a light right in the camera, I think. There we go. I always forget that light's there. I don't know why. Alright, you see it's bottoming out. So all I have to do is take off an 1/8 of an inch, but I think I'm going to take off about 1/4. Alright, let me do that and see what it looks like. Alrighty, I've shortened it a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a little more than 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, it's exactly 1/8 of an inch. I got that. There's a round file here, and I stuck it in there, and it's just touching the bottom. So 1/8 inch, plenty for fuel to get through. Okay, good enough. That was a quick, easy fix. I'm glad I found that. Alright, I was going to work on a timer, but I think I'm going to work on this cup. I got sidetracked here with this cup, so first I got to try and get that screen off. I think it's just soldered on. I think maybe I could rip it off. Cut it or rip it off instead of trying to heat it up and stuff like that. Alright, yeah, the reason I'm going to work on that is because Mike was working on the lathe here recently, and he had to reverse the jaws, and I might have to use the jaws the way to reverse like that to fit that thing in there. So good thing, I'll work on that now. Alright, this might be easier than I thought. I grabbed a pair of pliers here, line cutter's pliers, and twisted it, and it seems like it's just going to twist right off of there. Probably have some blobs of solder there, but look at this. Look at me working left-handed, huh? Yeah, so this it's nice when something is easier than you expect it to be. Alright, let me rip that off. Alright, I cut this little cup down, and I got the back side here and bored out the center there. I got away with myself there. I don't know what happened there, but I missed that by a country mile. How about that? I'm usually pretty good when it comes to that. So there's no problem. We could fix that. We could shim that before we weld it and center it, but I don't like that I did that. Alright, this is what it's going to look like. Put this on here like that. I think I'll have one of the kiddies weld it. They're much better MIG welders than I am. I'm more of an arc welder. It's just the way it is. And then when I put it on here, I'll put it on just about flush so the rope don't get stuck on that little knob in there. And then it'll leave just enough room there for a fan belt, so that'll run the fan. And then that fan belt will also keep the rope on the pulley there. So let me clean this up. I don't know how much time this video is, probably a short one, but maybe we'll just leave it at that. And maybe we'll get the kids over here to do some welding. So, alrighty.